1619. First slaves arrived in colonies. Approximately 20 Africans are sold to slavery in Jamestown, Virginia. 1630. Laws against owners abusing their slaves are made in Massachusetts. 1641. Massachusetts is the first colony to legalize slavery.
Yo, slavery ain't no singing matter. Drop the beat.
1662, Virginia makes a law so a child of a slave inherits some other slave status. 1694, slave importation increases when rice cultivation is introduced. 1703, Rhode Island makes it illegal for blacks and Indians to walk in without passes. 1705, Massachusetts makes marriage and sexual relations between blacks and whites illegal. 1712, free blacks, Indians, and mulatto slaves are forbidden from owning real estate and holding property in New York. 1740, Negro Act making it illegal for slaves to move abroad, assemble in groups, raise food, earn money, and learn to read English. Owners are permitted to kill rebellious slaves if necessary. 1773, the first separate black church in America is found in South Carolina. 1781, Mambet and other Massachusetts slaves successfully sued their master for freedom.
Hold up, this one's revolutionary.
Eli Whitney, yeah, he made the cotton gin. 1804, in Pennsylvania, the Underground Railroad is officially established. 1819, Virginia outlaws blacks and mulattoes by the freer slave for meeting for the purposes of education and forbids teaching blacks to read and write. 1827, Texas requires that 1/10 of the slaves inherited by any estate be freed. 1829, Mexico abolishes slavery and becomes a refuge for American fugitive slaves. 1831, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania hosts the first annual Convention of People of Color. 1831, the New England Anti-Slavery Society is founded. 1831, Maria W. Stewart, a free black woman in Boston, speaks out against slavery, becoming the first African-American woman to deliver a public lecture in the U.S. 1831, Nat Turner, an enslaved Baptist preacher believing himself divinely inspired, leads a violent rebellion in Southampton, Virginia. At least 57 whites are killed. 1840, South Carolina enacts a Black Code, by which slaves are denied the rights to assemble, produce food, earn money, learn to read, and to possess any clothing but low-quality garments. 1842, the Georgia legislature declares that it will never recognize free blacks as citizens. 1847, Frederick Douglass founded a black abolitionist paper called the North Star. 1850, the Compromise of 1850 admits California to the Union as a free state, allows the slave status of New Mexico and Utah to be decided by popular sovereignty, and bans slave trade in D.C. 1850, Virginia demands that emancipated slaves leave the state within a year and forbids the freeing of any other slaves. 1857, the Supreme Court denies citizenships to all slaves, ex-slaves, and descendants of slaves, and denies Congress the right to prohibit slavery in territories. 1857, New Hampshire declares that no one shall be denied citizenship on account of African descent. the Civil War begins in Charleston, South Carolina. 1863, Lincoln issues the Emancipation Proclamation, freeing all slaves in areas of rebellion. 1865, the 13th Amendment in the U.S. Constitution abolishes slavery. 1866, Virginia legally allows marriages between Negroes and grandchildren of those marriages' rights. 1866, two Negroes sit in the Mass Legislature. It is the first time blacks have participated in this branch of government. 1866, the Ku Klux Klan is founded in Tennessee. 1870, the 15th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution is ratified, securing the right to vote for black adult males. 1870, Congress passes the First Enforcement Act to protect the rights of African Americans. 1875, Congress passes the Civil Rights Act to grant African Americans public accommodations. 1875, the Clinton Massacre in Mississippi killed over 20 Negroes. 1881, Tennessee passes some of its Jim Crow law to segregate the state railroad. We out!
Have African Americans achieved Frederick Douglass's dream of equality today? Jamie Jubb and Sophia Cheever believe that the African Americans have. Although we as Americans still have some work to do, we have given the African Americans the same rights as the whites. This is a huge jump, especially considering how horrible the whites treated the blacks hundreds of years ago. But are they the same as us? They should be. There should no longer be racial stereotypes and jokes about other races, including the African Americans. Although today we still live in a world where racial jokes, names, and stereotypes are thrown around without a second thought, and almost every human finds the jokes funny. Every man and woman should be created equal, and we're working toward that dream with much success. While racial discrimination is terrible, we no longer treat people of different races horribly. We do not enslave them or beat them because of something they cannot control.